So, I've already talked about this game, but they got an update. So, I'm making a whole video as a suggestion of a update that I'd love to see that adds some new things and changes some new things. I kind of already discussed this in the original video I did, the review. This time I'm going in more depth and with more knowledge of the actual game, as well as what some of the update will actually fix. So first thing, is this game supposed to be accurate? From everything I can tell, yes. Most probably. The description is that. It says in the description it's about playing as animals in the Amazon, exploring it, and you can read it yourself. Pause the video if you want to read it fully. So, what is this update called? The Crocodilian update. This will introduce two new things. A game pass, sort of like the bull shark, that will introduce completely 100% exotic animals, not native, which is why it's a game pass. And it will fix one problem. So, the wiki for the game says. So, first we're going to go over the stuff that it will fix. If the thing will load. Shoot, I can set up everything else. We're gonna... I can fix this. Boom. So, we're gonna need this so I can prove to you, back my evidence up, because that's my goal. Okay, no. So, we need Black Cayman. So, here's a little bit of background. So, the two main dominant predators of the Amazon are the black caiman, which is an alligatorid or an alligator relative. Have both alligators and caiman belonging to the Alligatoridae family, which is one of two major groups in the Crocodilian clade. The other group is Crocodilidae. Now, Alligatoridae is split up into two subfamilies: Alligatorines and Caymaninae. Caymaninae is, of course, the family where you find the black caiman, the largest, as also stated in the in-game description of the animal, where it says, the black caiman is the aquatic apex predator of the Amazon. They are the largest and most aquatic of the caiman species, which technically is incorrect, as I could see maybe this will leading to people thinking that every caiman is in the same species, which isn't true. Because there's actually three different genuses. There's the Paleosuchus genus, aka the dwarf caimans. There's the caiman genus, aka Yacari and spectacled caimans, and broad-snouted caimans, though the broad-snouted aren't in the game. And the Yacari is just a skin of the spectacled caiman. And then we have the Melanosuchus genus, aka the black caiman, which, if you see, this scientific name is the correct one. If you see the species name, I'll let that up to you. I think it's kind of funny they would say that, because definitely isn't spelled like that certain N-word, but it definitely to some people would, well, that wouldn't. But to some people like me, that wouldn't exactly matter because it's freaking hilarious. But, so back on track. In real life, you may know the other apex predator of the Amazon is our favorite big cat, the jaguar, which is basically a leopard on steroids, even though it's not actually related to the leopard. Although they do look like as if they would be related. So, in real life, you may know that, well, jaguars hunt caiman, which, it's kind of true, but there is context behind the situations. Well, interactions, not situations. But you may think, okay, so jaguar hunts caiman, jaguar can kill caiman, so it's the king of the Amazon. And I would like to say, you're wrong. Here's the thing. Adult black caiman are averaging 11.5 to 13 feet and are approximately 660 pounds. Now, there are two different kinds of jaguars. There are the Pantanal jaguars and the Amazonian jaguars. The Amazonian jaguars are the ones that the black caiman will interact with. Amazonian jaguars range from 125 to 210 pounds. And the Pantanal jaguars are around 220 pounds. So, the caiman is a lot bigger. And that's where the problem lies. Jaguars only will hunt caiman within a certain weight range, of which an adult black caiman is not a part of. That range, you may be wondering, what is it? Well, they are ranging from caimans that are 15, so like a dwarf caiman sized, to 108 pounds, or about larger end of spectacled caimans, with the largest spectacled caimans being up to 128 pounds. So that means only young black caiman would actually be in that range. An adult, however, is not really correct. And speaking of 660 pounds, they do mention the weight. 217 kilograms, which is 478 pounds. Don't believe me? Let me prove it to you. 217, 478.403. Now, 660 would be 272 kilograms. Never mind, it's actually almost 300 kilograms. Oh yeah, that 272 was actually from 600 pounds. Which is on the slightly smaller end. So that does mean this caiman is actually slightly undersized. And it seems like all these animals, the male dwarf caimans can be up to 40 pounds, which 20 kilograms is only slightly higher. About 4 pounds too heavy, but it's good enough. Now, there is also the spectacled caimans, if I can get to it. Yep, never mind. We're having technical difficulties. But in real life, spectacled caiman grow up to 128 pounds and about 9 feet long. So, if this bloody thing would load, we could go check to see if they're accurate on that weight. So, yes, some spectacled caiman are out of that 108-pound maximum, though most are not going to be. Most are going to be more around 70 to 80 pounds. Well, actually, maybe more like 72 to 88 pounds. Basically, 70 to close to 90 pounds. Which is respectable. How long is this? You know what? I'm just going to redo it. There we go. So. Okay, this isn't what I need. Yes, spectacled caiman, that's what I need. Thank you. So, spectacled caiman, 58 kilograms. So, what would be 58 kilograms? Wait, that's 48. 58. 127 pounds, 0.868 pounds. So, congratulations. But there's still no problem because, of course, we're not going to be able to stop any players here from actually, attacking them because players are going to do what they want to do. And considering, let's see, considering the smallest jaguars are only slightly smaller than the largest, spectacled caimans, yeah, the jaguar would probably still be able to, restrain it or grapple onto it and prevent it from moving and running away. But the jaguar in game is supposed to... Wait, what? No, I don't need you. It's supposed to be 96 kilograms. Or, let's just go check. Yep, 96. So. Shut up, Google. 96 is 211 pounds. So that means this is the large Amazonian jaguar. It's a little bit off by a pound, but, who cares? It's a single pound. Nobody cares. You don't have to have it that perfect. It's like a single pound off. It's close enough. And hey, maybe it's supposed to be a Pantanal jaguar. Though this is about the Amazon, so why would you have Pantanal jaguars? But we can just say it's the largest it is the largest one. So actually, if you can see a trend, they like to put up the weight to the largest ones, which is actually kind of interesting. Because bring us just back to the black caiman. Well, yes, it already is huge. Which is at 478 pounds. Sorry, 217 kilograms. It is still too small. But if we want to continue that trend that we've been seeing throughout the other animals, most like spectacled caiman and jaguars, where they put up the weight up to the largest ones, then I think it would only be fair to do it to the black caiman, meaning this guy would have to be 2,000 pounds. I can see a problem with that. At that size, the black caiman would just be invincible. Nothing can challenge it. and even at its average size, there's a reason why I specifically stated its size. Because an adult black caiman, if their theoretical reputation among Amazon animals, if there was a reputation for the black caiman, I would say it would read, too big, too strong, too tanky. Because, well, that feeds into the inaccuracy that I would like to, well, change up. Let's see. 110 kilograms. The largest green anacondas are about 500 pounds. So, 110 kilograms. It's going to be 242. So, slightly bigger than the jaguar. Also, thing with the oxygen in the game, that's wrong. Because they actually don't, squeeze their prey into suffocation. They actually squeeze their prey into cardiac arrest. Where then they could maybe suffocate or get, swallowed whole by the snake. But there's a reason why I said too strong, too tanky, and too big. Because, for jaguars, an adult black caiman is too big and too dangerous. Green anaconda, or just in the game, anaconda, it's too tanky. It's too big and too tanky. Too tanky to swallow, and also too big to even squeeze. And then again, too tanky to squeeze. And also too strong. There are some other animals that I think the caiman may be able to be restrained by, like the puma. Don't think so, though. Not confirmed on the puma. But the main prevalent, in real life, there's also otters who will use their advantage of a gang violence. And that's where the too strong mainly comes in for the caiman. Because it's too strong and too dangerous for a pack of otters to take on. Oh, and too tanky as well, or, too durable. Okay, so here's one of the points of the video where I will recommend to go to watch 2 out of... So there are 4 videos I want you to watch. Here's the point in the video where I will suggest the first 2. So the first 2 these are all on YouTube, by the way. So, this video is by a Creature Challenge, and it's on alligator, and it's on jaguar versus caiman. So, go look at... So, if you want to learn more about the actual fight between a black caiman and go more in depth into the actual facts, go watch Creature Challenge's video, Jaguar vs. Caiman. I would suggest just look up Creature Challenge, Jaguar vs. Caiman. The video will have a jaguar holding a caiman and have the words, "The Honest Truth" on it. And the video title itself is Jaguar vs. Caiman, The Honest Truth. The second video is by our favorite wildlife. He's comedy educator, Casual Geographic. The video titled something along the lines of the most disrespected animal in nature. Sure. You know what? I have a TV with YouTube. Let me confirm that real quick. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what the video would be called. Actually, better yet, let's just do it on the phone. No. So, Jaguar, I'll get you both videos. Jaguar versus Cayman. So, now, there it is. This one, the one in the middle of the screen. The one with this one. The one I'm zooming in on. This video. And then the one by Casual Geographic. We have Cayman. That's how I find it. Yes, the video, is this the most disrespected animal in nature? So, now you have those two videos. You can go watch them after you watch this one. So, this says the first part of the Crocodilian update. I would like to see. So, of course. So, this part of the Crocodilian update. We have. So, in summary for this part, the jaguar and the black caiman cannot be restrained by the anaconda and the jaguar. And, of course, to try and keep it more balanced, nor can the jaguar or anaconda be restrained by the caiman. So either they just can't, and you just have to do your attack and just bite them, or in the jaguar's case, claw them, and then that's how they'll do damage anywhere. Or to make it more realistic, have it that the jaguar and anaconda can only be restrained by the caiman if the caiman is in water. And since the anaconda, I'm pretty sure, is an aquatic snake. Yeah, according to this, they are. So if we're going with that description, I guess you could make the argument that the green anaconda should be able to restrain the black caiman. But that slighter thing they have should be in favor of the black caiman being able to escape. Or just prevent it from at all and just only allow the caiman to do it, only in water. Though maybe since both are aquatic, the anaconda can restrain can wrap around the caiman, but either it can't do that, and it can only squeeze it into a tiny bit of damage. And can't restrain it and only do a little bit of damage. Imagine have a reduced damage to its regular attack, and have it its damage cut by 50 or 75% or something, maybe more like 75%. Well, 25%. And when doing compared to the other animals. Or just have it that the black caiman is the only thing that can only restrain the anaconda in water, and the anaconda can't restrain the caiman. Which would mean that anaconda players, same with jaguar players, would want to be careful around caiman, especially ones in the water. Because then they can restrain. And they should still. I was thinking maybe they should do caiman should do the death roll, but I think it would just make more sense to just have it what it is now, where they're just holding it by their midset, by their torso, and then they just thrash their head around. have it in slight favor of the caiman. I mean, sort of like how you, in the current game, it's in favor of the jaguar, even though really it should be the other way around. Not saying it should be impossible. Also, just a little bit of thing with the slider. It has definitely gotten easier the more I've gotten better. I have gotten a bit better at it, but I would suggest maybe for new players that it's automatic, that the settings have like a tutorial slider heater so that new people can get used to the slider heater because the captures for things so they're not like raging while they're playing the game because they're getting constantly attacked by things that are restraining them, because trust me, I've gone through that and it is and it is frustrating. Just frustrating. So, it's definitely gotten better, but I think maybe for newer players, they should have like a tutorial one that's slower and easier to work with. And when a player has that, but it's only active when you're in a new player. Or it's active in a tutorial map. Sort of like a game, like you have Ascended mode, and then you can have like another server where you go against AI stuff that are restraining you. Hitting you in the same way a player would. So a new player could get used to, or create maybe just a new way that's easier for everybody, so that has a easier learning curve, but still has a learning curve. Because, I don't like when games don't really have an in-depth learning curve, because they're just not as fun when you don't really have to learn anything. But then it's not fun when it's just too hard. Because when it's too hard, well, then it's just frustrating, especially when you're facing people who are having a lot better luck with it, because they're just better than you. So maybe like a circle thing, or just slow down the bar a bit, like that little line, slow it down, and also increase the sensitivity of that little box that you tap, at least on mobile. I don't know what you do it, but on mobile, I've had times where I have touched it, and it doesn't actually work. So maybe increase the sensitivity on that for mobile. But next section, so that's the section of inaccuracies. And well, Mike just kind of threw in that little thing with the sliders thing. Most likely, just find a way for that thing to be having actually a little bit of just be easier, a little bit easier, so that it's easier to learn. And then become, actually decent at it. And then continue learning to the point where you are good at it. Still don't make it, stupidly easy, though. Because then it's just bad. Make it so kind of tough. Sort of like this, it has a bit of a harder learning curve, but once you get that down, you're gonna be doing fine. So now here's just the section of other miscellaneous stuff that I'd like to see in this update with the Crocodilians. So, seems like the Orinoco crocodile actually it has its noises actually changed. Its bellows are different. It has a hiss and what seems like two but different bellows. So I don't know if they're separate or if it's just random like with the Jaguar's roar, where it randomly makes different roars. But in the caimans and crocodiles, if the crocodile doesn't already have them as two different separate noises, then I would like to see them different for an artist added, or we unanimize them. So we already have the hiss. So in the caiman we have the hiss. So this is the hiss. And then we have their bellow. Which I would actually say the bellow is more of a grunt. Or maybe like a little short one. So in this I would either rename it to... So here's my little thing. So the bellow... So we either rename the current bellow either short bellow or grunt. And then we added in a longer bellow and either call that either call that the long bellow or just bellow. So it's sort of more like an actual, like, little more drawn out thing, like the Orinoco crocodiles. So if those are already the same thing, or if the Orinoco crocodile, I can't really, but there are two different ones. So either we have it that the black, so either if they're already the same thing, then keep them as the same thing and just have it randomized. He's an add a grunt or short bellow, determining. I would kind of prefer if you call it a grunt, since crocodilians they make these three sounds: bellows, hisses, and grunts. Oh, and you could also kind of call the grunt a low boom, but I prefer to call it a grunt. And so for the black caiman, we would rename this sound to grunt, and then add a long drawn out. If the Orinoco goes to bellow, who's already the same, keep them that and add a shorter one. If they're different, then combine them to just be when you press bellow, it just makes one of them two at random, and then you have grunt. And then keep the hiss as whatever it is in the game. And if there is no hiss, then just make it the same as the black caiman. So that's about it for that section, actually. That's really all I want to see in that section. Really just want a little bit more variety in the noises. There's also another thing. Maybe add like a black junior skin to the, like how you have it for the spectacled caiman. You mean add a black junior skin for the dwarf caiman. Since the spectacled caiman is definitely would not be an adult, unless you're using it as a female, because a large spectacled caiman would be about the same length. Things as a female black caiman, which are average around 9 feet long, and large spectacled caiman are 9 feet long. Though the female black caiman would be heavier, probably more like 280 or so pounds. Or maybe closer to 200, maybe 230. So, and also then replace it. So in the the black junior skin for the spectacled caiman. From I've actually seen it, and it looks like it actually makes the model slightly longer. It also recolors it, removes the water dance, and actually adds a lighter toned bellow. Well, here's the thing. So either on the dwarf caiman, you make the same skin, and either just have it be, well, just make like actual baby crocodilian noises, so like them little like Yeah, I don't know if the camera actually picked it up. It's like eh. Yeah, those no. Or since a dwarf caiman would really be a bit too long, well, and too big. Since a dwarf caiman would be too long for that, I would say it's more like a young. Also, I'm not gonna ask female sizes. No, we're not gonna do that. The black caiman, you can be whatever. Same thing. No size difference. And if you do, add it for every single one and keep the same skins. And then just find a way, though I'm not really going to ask for that. So, in relation to the black caiman, the actual black caiman, the dwarf caiman would be like it would be like a youngling or a child. The spectacled caiman's black junior would be like a teenager in comparison, with the actual black caiman being the adult. And, well, turns out I actually lied. So this will come up again when we in the next section. But in real life, in-game, if I would go to the game and actually play the black caiman, which, how about I do that now? The black caiman will sort of drag itself along the floor, along the ground. So, Mev, is that, I'm just gonna call the developer Mev. So, Mev, I do love the game, so thank you for making this. Oh, I'm playing that. So, I got a skin store, so, here, let's just see if you don't know how that works. Not something I really want. So, here's the black caiman. I like to use the default 3 because of what I use it for. So, we can prove. So, here, I can prove. So, yeah, this is how the black caiman moves. Pretty slow. And, even running pretty slow. Which, the Orinoco skin actually changes that up. Now it's actually walking and not crawling. There are two different modes of transportation when walking crocodilian zoos. There is what is called the high walk, when they're walking up on their limbs and actually standing up. And then there's the belly crawl, which is, well, this. And, well, the only crocodilian that can't do the high walk is, well, the gharial, because its limbs are too short. So, I say, allow the black caiman to run and walk in the same way the Orinoco crocodile does. So here's the spectacle. So yeah, do that. Not good. Ooh, muddy. I already have that. So yeah, you can see here, this is how it's walking. This is the high walk, and this is running. So it'd be this animation and the same speed as the Orinoco crocodile. Or slightly slower. Though I would say same speed. And then, so we update the black caiman to walk in the same way that the Orinoco spectacled and dwarf caiman caiman walk and run, and then we change the Orinoco's running animation to a gallop, which will not make it faster. It's actually, if you didn't know, they don't actually... Well, galloping doesn't actually make them faster, at least in Crocodilians. So it would just stay the same speed, but it would just look a little bit. And help reinforce because crocodiles, like the Orinoco crocodile, do actually have the capability of, well, running. Basically, change. So basically, some of that section, add more sound, and change walk. Change walk. Add Black Junior skin for Dwarf Caiman. So let's go into... What is this? Oh, I don't need that. So, next section. So, what's going on here? Well, this is where my new entire animals go in. So, first thing. What is my sort of like thing to say? Whether a animal should be just a skin of an already existing animal that's close, or just its own thing entirely. So, here we have the black caiman. So, actually, no, wait, what am I doing? So, the dwarf crocodile. Oh, wait, no. So, in-game we have a bull shark, which is a game pass. It is a semi-regular visitor to the Amazon. It's not native, but it does visit the Amazon, which is the same thing as the Orinoco crocodile, which the Orinoco is a skin to the black caiman. So, here is my thing for the why something should either be a skin to something that's very similar to it already in game, or why it should just be its own, or if it should be its own thing entirely. Don't worry, trust me, this will be important. So, in-game, the Orinoco is a skin of the black caiman. Really, it's just a sort of light brown or a tannish colored black caiman with black spots. And with a longer jaw. That may or may not be having the same width of both the upper and lower mandibles. If the lower mandible is not as wide as the lower mandible, if the upper mandible is wider than the lower mandible, then I would call that an accuracy. Because they do have, unlike an alligatorid, it's where their upper jaw is wider than their lower jaw. Crocodiles and gharials too actually have their upper and lower jaws the same width, which is why that you get that toothy smile, or you can see both the upper and lower teeth, though in different ways. the crocodile. Crocodiles generally have them sort of like in a pattern where sort of like it'll be little patches of like one set of teeth will overlap the upper, and then the upper teeth will overlap a patch of the lower teeth. Unlike in gharials where they have zipper teeth. And then alligatorids, which will just have only the upper jaw. They have overlapping teeth. Not interlocking or, interpatterning? I don't know. I don't know what you would call a crocodile. Technically, you would call it interlocking, but it's more like a pattern. So, for the rest of this, I'm just going to be playing in the background on a small server, so I don't die. So, yes, this jaw is actually accurate. Though, although I forgot to mention this, but I would actually like to see visible teeth. You already have them in jaguars, which you don't even see. You already have, visible canines in the jaguar and puma, and you don't even see those unless they open their mouths. When they're, when they're, meowing in the case of the puma, or roaring or hissing or that. When they open their mouths and they're not being blocked by, biting of their prey. But here, the upper should be visible, so I would like to see a little bit of a black. So I would like to see actual physical teeth. Make it a little bit nicer. They should be straight and conical. So another thing on what. So let's actually get into why I think we should have what determines whether something should be just a skin of an animal that would already be capable, that's very close to it, or why it should just be its own thing entirely. So, first thing. How common is the animal in the Amazon? Is the animal a semi-regular? Is it native? Is it semi-regular? Is it an occasional visitor? Or is it just not even, or does it not even go to the Amazon at all? So, and two, how easy would it be to change everything that you need to do? If it's easy to rig and change, then yeah, just a skin. But if it's not, then it should be its own. Just like how the bull shark is its own thing, but the Orinoco isn't. So, this is where the exotic Crocodilian Game Pass comes in. If you don't add it, I understand why, because, this is focused on the Amazon. But one of these animals do actually come to the Amazon. The American American crocodile. They are a visitor to the Amazon, though as far as I can tell, they are not as frequently of a visitor as the Orinoco crocodile does. Or is. But it's not impossible to find one. there, but it would be more like coastal than inland. And then, of course, my favorite crocodilian, the American alligator. Which really all you have to do is just take the black caiman skin and, well, color it gray. Or recolor the black caiman to be black. Instead of dark gray with black scoots on the back. And I know this color isn't black is because, well, that's black. And the eyes are black. They are darker than that. This is a more like a dark gray. No, maybe it's actually a gray. So either make the caiman a darker gray, darker colored, or just outright black, like it technically really should be. Because alligators range from gray to dark gray, maybe black, and then caimans range from dark gray to black. Also, I would make the black caiman snout a bit taller. And in the black caiman and in the alligator, its teeth should be, well, the alligator should have shorter but thicker teeth. So, let's go to this photo I took of the difference between a caiman and an alligator. So, caiman has a very large upper jaw, with a mouth that includes many sharp, long, and narrow teeth, and in the interior, there is an orange hue. Caimans have larger and higher set eyes than alligators. Another major difference between the two animals is that while alligators have single bone osteoderms, the bony deposits on their skins, caimans possess composite osteoderms. So, I would say an alligator has a bite force of 2,900 psi. So, the caiman having longer and narrower teeth this is also proven by photos. A lot of photos of alligators have shorter, both are still conical point straight teeth, cone shape. But alligators have a shorter and wider teeth compared to the longer and narrower teeth of caimans. Which is why I suggest that it is likely that the caiman should either do that. At best, they should do the same damage, though probably the alligator should be doing slightly more damage. And I don't know where the American crocodile and Orinoco crocodile would go. How about we look it up? So, American crocodile. That guy's got a broader snout. Let's see if it's here. Shut up. Okay. Bite 4. So? Okay, so... Okay, yeah, probably not accurate. Probably not accurate. That's a saltwater crocodile. It outright says here, saltwater crocodile. I said American crocodile. You dumbass. Okay, so semi-aquatic animals have a That's a bit inaccurate. Doesn't seem to be too reliable. I would say, though, it's probably slightly more powerful because it is larger, and, well, I don't think it has smaller teeth. Actually, no. Let's see the teeth. Serpent looks a little bit more like an alligator, though maybe it's just a crocodile that has a broad snout. Well, let's just go look at the American croc. Okay, yeah, those teeth don't look, baby. Yeah, those don't look small. Yeah, they don't look like long and narrow teeth to me. Those look like more like what you'd see in an alligator. Those are shorter, but whiter, especially in some ones. So, yeah, I would say probably around the same, maybe slightly stronger. So, what about the Orinoco? Actually, why do we even need to prove it? I think actually they do the same, so don't know if we really need to change anything. Okay, so if we go to the wiki, actually, I'm just gonna assume they do the same damage. So maybe make the Orinicos weaker, slightly weaker. American alligators slightly bigger. Well, not slightly stronger, and same with the American crocodile. No. Okay. So, yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. So, skins, I don't really know skins for the American alligator. So this will be a Game Pass because, well, the American alligator isn't, well, native. And since it's not native, I say it's fair. Even if it is very easy to just change up the black caiman and make it a skin, I'd say there's still a fair argument. It's a Game Pass. It's not native at all. Make it its own thing to make it feel more special. Sure. And maybe the American crocodile can just be a skin of the black caiman. Now, actually, I have a little fun thing that I just thought of. So, in case of these Game Passes that give you access to exotic animals, you should still have to go through Ascended to get to them. You buy them, and you go to Ascended. And if you've already completed a tree and you are on the Crocodilian, the Cayman branch, then then all you have to do is buy it. And then, well, you'll automatically have it. But in Ascended, you have little trees. So the bull shark is independent. Maybe. But if it isn't, then stay independent because it's not really anything. But if it's an animal that has one reason why it is not just a skin for an animal already in the game, and that's just been modified, you'd then make it connected to the black king. Then make it connected to that animal. So in this case, he's the American alligator and American crocodile. If the American crocodile isn't just a skin, would be connected to two different things. Would be automatically connected. You would buy the Game Pass, you would get to the Cayman, and then you either have already bought the Game Pass, or you bought the Game Pass because you've already got the Cayman unlocked, and then you are and then you have access to them too. Now, here are some slight changes to the that you should make to the alligator that you would need to make to the Cayman model to make it a little bit more accurate to the American alligator, and also to help distinguish them. Because otherwise, they're basically just a lighter colored Cayman. Black Cayman. That's also slightly stronger. So, this little area where the eyes are, make the eyes smaller and lower that down. For the alligator, and keep the jaw the same. We want to do the same thing we would also modify the Orinoco crocodile skin and American crocodile skin to do the same. And also, make the black Cayman's snout slightly taller. Not much, but slightly taller. And then, well, make this either a dark gray, or just an outright black. Maybe a dark gray like those colors here, like the colors of the osteoderms here, and make those full out black. And then the alligator would be the same color. Orinoco crocodile and American crocodile, on the other hand, no, the Orinoco skin will not become its own thing. It will stay because it is a semi-regular, if not outright regular visitor of the Amazon. In fact, I think some of the actual Orinoco crocodile range is actually in the Amazon. Meaning there would be a population of native Orinoco crocodiles, so just having that as its own skin into the black Cayman would make more sense. Though, maybe if we are changing the model, then just redo it as a skin for the American crocodile, and people who already have the although you already changed the spectacled Cayman to be longer, so just keep the Orinoco crocodile. Says otherwise, besides from it not being since that easily rigged, and it's not like something that's either a rare visitor or just completely not within the Amazon, which is why I'm not suggesting that the American crocodile and alligator just be free play, free unlocked, like you just gotta go through Ascension to get them. No, you have to buy a Game Pass to get them, and to make them feel more special, that they're their own individual animal. I would also say, American alligator skull, the American alligator's snout should be either just kept the same as the black Cayman, or widened a bit. Probably widened a bit. Not the same full as the actual back. Actually, no, it should be the same width. Or just keep it the same. Because it already looks good enough. But just to make it a little bit more it's a little bit more distinguishable from the black Cayman, and it kind of its own thing. You could make them that its snout is the same width as the back, as its actual head, or the back of the head. So the area where the eyes are. You could do that. Also, remove the striping here. That's not, they don't got that. And then make the black Cayman this color on the scooch back here. Here I'll make the scooch black like the eyes. Black should always be the default color. Have a stronger bite for the alligator. And then for the American crocodile, actually for the Orinoco, make and have the same head head design for the eyes, meaning the eyes are, well, they're already smaller, so make the eyes the same width, the same size as the Orinoco crocodile, or maybe slightly bigger on the American alligator, and maybe slightly bigger for the Orinoco as well. Actually, you know what? Keep them as is. Actually, maybe. So actually, keep them as where they are. Actually, no, keep this same thing for the alligator, but just whiten this front part of the snout and make the eye smaller, like you did, sort of like the exact opposite what you did with the Orinoco, where you made the eyes smaller, but you made the snout narrower. So then we do the same for the American crocodile. Basically, just take the Orinoco crocodile, make it maybe more like a green color to help distinguish it from the Orinoco crocodile, and make its snout whiter, and also maybe add and also add the teeth, the visible teeth, and that patterning that we see on the crocodiles, or just have them outright into one. So yeah, I don't know how much this Game Pass would cost. I could see it probably being possible to just modify and make the alligator and American crocodile Game Pass skin, sort of like the melanistic jaguar Game Pass. Though I think they're justified as their own skins because, well, one, the American alligator isn't even native to the Amazon, and then the American crocodile is sort of like a rarer visitor. So, yeah. Also, this isn't really related, but another Game Pass I would love to see is the Recolor Game Pass. Maybe I'll make another video about it, or just put it out right in the suggestions and make its own thing. Though here, basically, it would just be like a selection of colors. And also, for any animal, like, you have this open free box that is locked. You can buy a Game Pass, which will be like, maybe, let's say, around 150 Robux. It's just a little cosmetic thing that you can do. And also to prevent people from just making skins of other ones that are like of the mutation skins or the melanistic jaguar. Maybe make certain areas of these different animals not have a certain color palette, like on the jaguar, or you can't have like certain areas like the counter shading black. It's more, and it follows more of a different color pattern. And also, this would also allow us to attach different patterns to certain animals, like the caimans, like the crocodilians. We can have like maybe dotting, like maybe large, like patches, or large or small, and of course, and striping. Striping is totally not just an excuse to make my own original alligator character better than I can already do it in game. So yeah. And we can also color the individual stripes. And yeah, that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed the suggestion. And overall, Mev, you did a good job. Thank you for making the game. Have a good day. Would probably just be too long.